right, travel crew. You guys won't believe the sensory overload we're dealing with right now. This perpetually twilight forest, with its glowing flora and cascading waterfall, is beautiful but utterly chaotic. The air here hums with an almost visible magical energy, making my seasoned nose completely useless. My taste blindness is usually my biggest adversary, but this interference is a new level of cursed. I'm here investigating whispers of a legendary bloom said to possess incredible healing properties. Lore speaks of a towering, secluded structure where a single drop could mend even the gravest wounds. They say a dark-haired sorceress once kept someone with impossibly long, braided locks here, protected by magic. I'm not following a map, just chasing faint, energetic signatures through this ancient, mystical place. Everywhere I look, I see broken tools and discarded vials, signs of countless others who failed before me. Even standing still, the sheer magical density of this air feels like it's trying to unravel my very being. This cursed environment demands a toll just for existing within its boundaries. Travel crew, this forest isn't just magical, it's alive and actively resisting my every move. The ground beneath my boots shifts like liquid, colors bleed into each other, and scents vanish before I can even identify them. My usual instruments are useless, so I'm tasting the very air, feeling the wind's subtle shifts against my skin. I'm navigating by instinct, following the faintest energetic whispers towards that towering, secluded structure. Several glowing flora clusters here could fit the legend, but some radiate pure decay, clearly unstable. That shimmering moss over there? Too aggressive, too volatile for purification. Definitely not our target. But near the base of the tower, where the stories say the long-haired prisoner once sat, it's a gentle, consistent hum, unlike the chaotic energy surrounding everything else. Every step is a calculated risk, avoiding pulsating fungal growths and shimmering, acidic puddles. This world pushes back, demanding my full attention just to exist within its boundaries. I'm planning my approach to that specific bloom, assessing every potential hazard. What do you guys think? Is this the one we've been searching for? All right, travel crew, you won't believe the energy radiating from this bloom. It's nestled right at the base of that ancient crumbling tower, glowing with an almost impossible warmth. This isn't just any flower. Its petals shimmer with a golden light, pulsing faintly. I tried humming a low note, and the entire bloom vibrated, its light intensifying, almost pushing back. Then, I used a polished shard of obsidian to reflect a sliver of light onto it. The bloom's glow flared, and a tiny wisp of golden pollen actually retracted into its core. Even my shadow passing over it causes a subtle shift in its luminescence. My breathing, too, seems to affect its delicate rhythm, a truly cursed sensitivity. This ingredient, known in whispers as Sundrop-Pollen, demands absolute mastery for acquisition. It's reacting to every minute change, a living, breathing enigma. This isn't about brute force, it's about precision, about understanding its unique defenses. I sense immense potential, but also extreme volatility if handled improperly. How do you guys think a master chef approaches something this temperamental? All right, travel crew, this Sundrop-Pollen is proving to be a true test of my finesse. I'm using my finest, thin silver tongs, usually reserved for the most delicate microgreens, to gently coax the pollen. The air around this golden bloom feels thick, almost syrupy, with concentrated energy from the ancient, crumbling tower. I lean in, my breath held, aiming for a single, shimmering grain. But my hand, usually so steady, twitches just a fraction too much. A sudden, intense heat erupts from the bloom, a raw elemental shift that blasts me back. The golden petals flare, pulsing with an angry, blinding light, pushing against my very being. It's like the flower itself is screaming, rejecting my touch with pure, unadulterated, magical force. I quickly deploy my obsidian shard, trying to absorb some of the chaotic energy to shield the delicate bloom. The shard hums violently in my hand, barely containing the backlash, but the pollen remains stubbornly fused. This ingredient demands more than just precision. It demands a deeper understanding of its volatile spirit. The Sundrop-Pollen is still just out of reach, glowing defiantly at the base of the secluded structure. How do you guys think I can truly master this temperamental ingredient? All right, travel crew, direct force clearly isn't the answer for this temperamental bloom. The ancient tower watches, its magic still thrumming, but I'm adapting. My obsidian shard, usually for defense, will now be a conduit, not a shield. I'm channeling the ambient energy of this perpetually twilight forest, not fighting it. I observe the golden petal's angry pulse, a distinct rhythm, almost a heartbeat. This ingredient demands a dance, not a struggle. I synchronize my breathing, my hand movements, with the flower's erratic beat. It's a delicate balance, a culinary tai chi, using its own energy against itself. My platinum tweezers are no longer just for plucking. They're an extension of my will. I wait for the precise nanosecond of energetic ebb, a micropause in its fiery rejection. Then, with a swift, almost imperceptible twist, I pluck a single, shimmering grain. A jolt of warmth shoots up my arm, and I feel an odd, tingling sensation at my scalp. My hair feels strangely heavy, almost alive for a fleeting moment. This Sundrop-Pollen is finally mine, but this was a close call. Do you guys think this risky maneuver was the only way? All right, travel crew, I've got it. This Sundrop-Pollen is now secured in a simple leaf pouch. But it's far from docile, believe me. The air around us just grew thick, and the perpetual twilight seems to have deepened, almost like the forest itself is holding its breath in protest. It feels surprisingly heavy, like a tiny, dense star, and radiates an erratic, pulsing warmth against my palm, almost burning. It hums with a low vibration, a volatile energy that wasn't present when it was attached to the bloom. This ingredient is undeniably alive, and it's clearly angry about being contained, a truly cursed variable. Doubt creeps in. I didn't anticipate this level of post-extraction instability from a single pollen grain. I'm reinforcing the pouch with more layered leaves and tightly wound twine, hoping to stabilize its furious, unpredictable energy. Control is always relative out here in the multiverse, isn't it? I'm just buying us time, keeping the clock from running out on whatever this thing plans next. What do you guys think? Will this containment hold? Or are we in for a truly wild ride? All right, travel crew, this Sundrop-Pollen is fighting me every step of the way. I'm trying to find its rhythm, shielding it from the faint, shifting light of this enchanted forest. It plinks with a furious energy, then calms, then flares again, almost like a tiny, angry heart. My initial attempts to steady it with just my body heat were a bust. It just intensified its erratic hum. I had to reset, observing the subtle shifts in the magical currents flowing through these ancient trees. This ingredient isn't just reacting to me, it's echoing the very breath of this world. I'm now synchronizing my own movements, my breathing, even my heartbeat, with the subtle ebb and flow of the ambient magic. It's like conducting a volatile orchestra, trying to bring harmony to chaos. The pollen is finally settling, a low, steady thrum replacing its earlier frantic vibrations. It feels stable now, but it's a fragile piece, a temporary truce with a truly cursed ingredient. This isn't just about culinary mastery, it's about understanding the pulse of the multiverse itself. Do you think this delicate balance will hold? Or is it just a moment before the next storm? All right, travel crew, the moment of truth is here. I've set up my portable hearth, nestled into the soot-stained alcove of the tower's base, using the very stones that once felt the sorceress's fire, channeling the ambient magic. The Sundrop-Pollen, now a shimmering gold dust, is ready for its transformation into long-haired flower soup. I'm carefully infusing it into a broth of purified spring water from the glowing waterfall. Initially, the pollen dissolved beautifully, releasing a sweet, ethereal scent, just as predicted. But then, the broth started to thicken too rapidly, almost congealing, threatening to seize completely. I immediately adjusted the heat, pulling it back from the brink with a precise burst of my culinary flame. The aroma shifted, spiking with a sharp, almost metallic tang, before settling into a complex, earthy perfume. The texture was a nightmare, almost collapsing into a gritty paste, but I whipped it back with a rapid, rhythmic stirring. This soup isn't just cooked, it's wrestled into existence, a testament to sheer will. I've contained its volatile energy, for now. But do you think this fragile creation will hold its form? All right, travel crew, this is it, the moment of truth for the long-haired flower soup. I've poured a small, steaming portion into my tasting bowl. The aroma is intoxicating now, a blend of sweet earth and pure light. I take a deep breath, the air around me crackling with anticipation. Here goes nothing, or everything. I lift the spoon, the golden liquid shimmering, and take the first deliberate taste. A warmth spreads through me, not just in my mouth, but deep into my scalp. My skin tingles, a strange pressure building at the roots of my hair. You guys won't believe this. I can feel it, physically feel it elongating. It's not just growing, it's surging like a river of pure energy. My hair is flowing, cascading past my shoulders, past my waist, hitting the ground. The magical energy in this twilight forest is intensifying, reacting to the sudden influx. It's like the entire enchanted castle grounds are humming in response. This isn't just a taste. It's a transformation, a raw, undeniable power. My hair is now easily 5 feet long, a golden river around me. Did you see that? Was that the most insane culinary reaction ever? All right, travel crew, my hair just became a 5-foot-long golden waterfall, and I'm still processing the after effects. This perpetually twilight forest, with its ancient, humming magic, just taught me a profound lesson about ingredient mastery. The Sundrop-Pollen didn't just yield its flavor, it demanded a tribute, a physical manifestation of its power. My hair, now a flowing golden river, is a constant reminder of this world's unique negotiation. The magical density here amplified the effect, turning a simple taste into a full-body transformation. This isn't just about taste blindness anymore. It's about understanding the cost of every impossible ingredient. Every portal has its price, and this one was a literal hair-raising experience. Next, we're heading to a place where the very ground shifts beneath your feet, and the rules of gravity are merely suggestions. They say the air itself is a puzzle, and the inhabitants communicate through a series of clicks and whistles. What do you think? Is this new look a culinary badge of honor, or just another cursed inconvenience? Ready for a world where the spice flows and the stakes are even higher?